explain and show y'all like, yeah, this is like the change in like Pharrell's production. He uses like kind of the same sounds now. Like he don't be using, well, not everything, but like on a lot of these, he be using like similar sounds, similar like beat patterns.
So we get to All Considered. It was pretty basic, in my opinion, a little bit slower. It just reminded me of that other joint that he did with Travis Scott. It was called Down in Atlanta. The iconic keyboard that Pharrell be using all the time in this, or lately in this stuff. And a different like synth bass of don't. Man, it's just like, his beats lately just feels dry, bro. Like, for my producers out there, and I'm really going to be speaking more on the production side of things. I'm not going to go in depth into lyrics, like I said before in like one of my pivot videos, because I make music myself, so I really pinpoint the elements of that too more than the lyrics. A lot of these, the more relevant Pharrell produced beats, they just feel like more dry, bro. Like they don't feel. It's like the energy is just not there for me, bro. You know, compared to his like older stuff. And like, granted, when he worked with Chad Hugo, they didn't use like a whole lot of instruments for real, but you could feel the music though, and then there was still some like real instruments they used. But it's like now when it's just produced by him solo, a lot of these newer joints, I mean, I'm hearing like similar feeling, like percussion is just like dry. The snares, bro. But down in Atlanta, like I haven't been banging that either, you know, I'm not going back to that track like that. It's more of a relevant sound, but I guess that's why it's just a single and it's not on any album or whatever. But anyway, M.T.B.T.T.F vocal sample chops on that. It's just like the aggression with how it sounds is kind of similar to a Let God Sort 'Em Out, but I'm gonna get to that like near the end. E.B.I.T.D.A. Now this one was like the most funkiest beat on this project. With the bass, you know, it was more groovy. Once again, them iconic keys, I just thought of a side quest I can do. Is really going into like playlists and stuff. There's gonna be another video, bro. Yeah. Just y'all wait, man. Just y'all wait. He did mention Rest in Peace Takeoff. Pharrell did, but you know, Pharrell can rap too. I hope y'all didn't forget about that. He not only produces, he made tracks on production on some of the joints on here, make you feel like you at church. So shoot, he freaking uses that freaking choir and some of the choir chops sounds that he had used, like going back from Hidden Figures stuff off of that. Like he got that throughout this album. For my producers out there, man, getting to F.I.C.O, again, more sample chops mixed with some trap drums and that. I ain't really bang that much for real. Inglorious Bastards. Kind of already mentioned that one, but production is kind of minimal, and I do think it is like a hit or miss though. So far ahead now, I really like what Pharrell did with the intro, and then it got into like the weeds of the verses and the sound, you know what I'm saying? Energy going into that, bro. The big dogs in the house, and really like it was so far ahead, and I want to say POV. And Ace Trumpets, like, you know, they just had their like interesting intros, and then they got into like the like they about to rap, you know what I'm saying? Like they rapping now, make room. So we get to Let God Sort 'Em Out. Now this is more aggressive kind of sound. I don't know, more like tough sound. I'm really like trying to describe the like tone or mood or whatever. Trap drums is kind of mixing it with the regular hi-hat. Not the trap sounding hi-hats that y'all hear in like Metro Boomin beats, but like hi-hats sounding like from a regular drum set, you know? So I do like beats kind of like that, where they mix it up. And it's not just like, oh, the hi-hat, all like trap percussion. Like it's like a mix of different stuff. I like that because it shows like variety. But you know, every now and then, like ain't nothing wrong with like some regular trap beats. But hearing that over and over again, it gets old to me, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Nas was featured on this. It reminded me of when he was featured on the second Spider-Verse that came out, and the soundtrack was produced by Metro Boomin. So the joint was Nas Morales. So It reminded me of that just a little bit and how it feels. You know, some of the elements aren't like the same, but I guess like just as how Nas was rapping, it kind of just reminded me of that. He's still in the game too, man. Like Nas been in this junk since the 90s. So then we get to By the Grace of God. Now this is, you know, more chill, but I honestly think this is very dramatic. Pharrell, I mean, you went all out. I will say over the top, especially with the choir stuff. I mean, and it kind of makes me laugh too. It's like, hey, like, okay, by the grace of God, like, all right, we in, woo, like, you praising the Lord. It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but it is cinematic too. And a lot of these are cinematic. I mean, this whole album, like Chains and Whips, feels like it could be in a Django or something like that. It's kind of funny. It could be more commercialized on TV and stuff. Before I get in my top 5, the tracks that has all the choir sounds in it, the iconic choir sounds that my producers y'all just gotta go back to like some of the joints he made for Hidden Figures, that movie that came out like 2017. Man, you know what I'm talking about. We're gonna start out with Ace Trumpet's got that choir in the beginning, the ooh part, and it's in the middle or whatever. All things considered, E.B.I.T.D.A. When it's grooving, when the beat starts for real, it's like, and I guess the tempo of it goes back to that funky part of Pharrell. It reminds me of one of the N.E.R.D joints. Does she want a funny girl? They love it. Folks will know what I'm talking about. And the editor would put this song that I'm trying to, you know, sing. It's like that choir sound though, it's like mixed in with that, you know, melody. And then So Far Ahead, of course, is in the beginning. You don't know what it is. By the Grace of God. It's like throughout the whole melody, bro. And then Birds Don't Sing, we go all the way back to the first track. This is when it keeps building, so I guess like when the beat drops and stuff, when John Legend kind of like near the end of his verses or whatever, but yeah, it's like around there. It's not when like Clips starts rapping and stuff. So I'm like going off of memory. All right, so my top 5, man, I put Ace Trumpets in there first, and one of the reasons is because it's just funny. Malice's verse, Yellow Diamonds, Look Like PP. POV is my number 2. M.T.B.T.T.F. number 3, E.B.I.T.D.A. number 4. I really should put that one number 2, but man, F it, bro. This is no in particular order. Just because that one is just funky, bro. I will put that on number 2 though. And, you know, So Far Ahead. It's what I had on my last one, but it is well produced, but I just think it's overproduced with the choir. But I'm sure all of this was intentional. Again, it fits the title. Clips definitely grew up in church. It's my final thoughts. It's still a classic record, but like I said, there's some joints doesn't hit the same as it did when I first heard them. That might change on a few of them, but for real, this whole record I can play in the background. And Glorious Bastards, like, it's kind of a shame because I feel like he could have added more instruments in that jump, bro. He could have made that jump more funky. He low-key could have did something with the bass line on Inglourious Bastards instead of just keeping it a plain 808 bass. As a producer, bro, you gotta put your ego down sometimes and, you know, make room for the artist, bro. Like, you can't just overproduce. So, like, he didn't overproduce on that one. I think he did on that last one, like I said, By the Grace of God with the choir and stuff. But, man, this is all part of being a producer, bro. There's millions of streams on here, so, like, people like the album. I might do, like, a top 5 rap album video. It might be a tough one if this is gonna be on it or not. I'm a see, bro, because it's like it's better S that came out, bro, than this. Fredo 2, don't even get me started with the Alchemist, bro. He like been grinding on projects, bro. Don't be surprised if all y'all see on my top 5 is Alchemist projects, bro. Don't even be surprised. Oh, J.I.D, bro. Clips of y'all watching. I hope y'all are grateful that I'm acknowledging your project. I listened through it. I at least got some joints out of it that I can take away. I'm probably still going to get the vinyl, but it's just not on my top list to get it right now. But yeah, I gotta go because I'm also like baking chicken and I don't want to freaking burn the house down. So peace out, y'all.